Hello students, welcome to Susie's Biology. I very well know that one of the boring and difficult chapter for you is this animal kingdom. Let us learn this chapter with visual examples and important points within 15 minutes. Kindly comment and subscribe for the next chapters. Keep watching. So animals are multicellular in nature and they are eukaryotic, heterotrophic, and the unique features of animals are as follows: locomotion, neural system, and holozoic nutrition. Holozoic nutrition means ingestion of organic matter, and these are some of the terms, namely benthic, the organisms which live on the seafloor, and pelagic means the organisms which are actively swimming, and planktonic means the organisms which are passively drifting. Example, zooplankton. And when we come to the basis of classification, according to the arrangement of cells, body symmetry, nature of the coelom, patterns of the digestive system, etc., we are classifying the animals into three levels, namely cell aggregates, tissue level, and organ level. So these are the examples: sponges for cell aggregate, coelentrates for tissue level, and platyhelminthes for organ level. And asymmetrical means we cannot divide into two halves, whereas radial symmetry means we can divide at any angle, and bilateral means at any one angle we can divide it into two halves. So the first phylum is Porifera. They are pore-bearing animals. Sponges are the pore-bearing animals. They are marine and asymmetrical, multicellular in nature, and they are having cellular level of organization. And the water transport canal system is present, and there are special structures, namely ostia and osculum, in the water transport system, and they help in food gathering, respiratory exchange, and removal of wastes. The digestion is of intracellular type, and the reproduction is by asexual fragmentation, and sexual reproduction is also present, and the larvae are called as amphiblastula and parenchyma. They are ciliated and free swimming larvae of sponges, and the porifera, they have a power of regeneration. So you note the scientific name and common name. So the first one is crown sponge. It is having a crown-like structure, and below the crown sponge we are having the bath sponge. And third one is Venus flower basket. Because of its appearance it got the name. And the fourth one is freshwater sponge. The next phylum is Coelenterata. It is otherwise called as Cnidaria. They are known as corals, and cnidocytes are present in the tentacles, and they help in anchorage and for prey capture and defense mechanism. And they are diploblastic in nature. They are having tissue level of organization, and radial symmetry is present. Both extra and intracellular digestion are present here. And asexually reproducing body is called as polyp, and sexually reproducing body is called as medusa. Example, Hydra and Adamsia is polyp, and Aurelia is medusa. And the larva of this phylum is called as plana. So these are the examples. These are the examples of coelentrates. So the first image is sea fur, and the second image is jellyfish. Third one is sea pen, and fourth one is sea fan. And then next phylum is Ctenophora. They are known as comb jellies or sea walnuts, and they are having a special property called bioluminescence, and they are radially symmetric, diploblastic in nature, and tissue level of organization. And the ciliated comb plates act as a locomotory organs. Digestion is of both types, intra and extracellular, and they are hermaphrodite. There is no sex differentiation here, and sexual reproduction and external fertilization occurs. Examples, the first image is sea walnut and the second image is sea gooseberry. The next phylum is Platyhelminthes. They are known as flatworms, and they are endoparasite. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic in nature, and these are the first group to have the organ level of body plan, and they have hooks and suckers as the special structures, and the flame cells, special structures for excretory systems are present here, and the sexes are not separate, so internal fertilization occur, and planaria, they have high. So these are the examples for platyhelminthes. Examples for platyhelminthes, the first image is tapeworm, and the second one is planaria, and here the third, below the tapeworm we are having blood fluke, and the fourth one is liver fluke. Next phylum is Ascalmenthes. They are known as roundworms. So they are pseudocoelomates, that is false coelom is present here, and they are bilaterally symmetric, triploblastic in nature. Here the alimentary canal is complete, and the excretory tube is present, and sexes are separate, so they are called as dioecious, and they are having internal fertilization. So the examples are Wuchereria, Ascaris. So the first one, Wuchereria, it causes the elephantiasis disease, and the second one is called as common roundworm, Ascaris. Both are parasites, endoparasites. Next phylum is Annelida. So they are bilateral and they are having segmented body. That means lines are present in the body and the circular muscles helps in locomotion, and the nephridia are the special structures for osmoregulation and excretion, and statocysts act as a balancing organ, and there is a sexual reproduction here, and the examples are the earthworm. The first image is earthworm and the second image is ragworm. Rag means it looks like old cloths wrapped. So old, because of this appearance, it is called as ragworm. And third one, leech, hirudinaria. We are getting anticoagulant hirudin from this leech worm. Next phylum is Arthropoda. So this is the largest phylum, and all the insects, bugs, flies and all come under this phylum, and they are having an exoskeleton which is made up of chitin material. So chitinous exoskeleton is present, and they are having head, thorax and abdomen. And they are also having a pillars called as antenna. Antennae is the plural form. And the respiration is by gills, book lungs, trachea system. So the first one is book gills, example for book gills. And Malpighian tubules act as a excretory organ. So the examples of this phylum are honeybee, silkworm and king crab. So the second image is the king crab, which is known as living fossil. And the last image is silverfish. You can see in your notebooks and all, silverfish, Lepis. And the next phylum is Mollusca. They are known as mussels, soft-bodied animals. And this is the second largest phylum, and they are having organ system level and bilateral and triploblastic in nature. And they are having unsegmented body, and a calcareous shell is present in this phylum, and the digestive and circulatory organs are present in the visceral hump. The tentacles act as a sensory organs, and the radula are the feeding structures of this phylum. So these are the examples for mollusca. So the first one is Pyloglobosa, apple snail, and the second one is octopus, devilfish, and the third one is pearl oyster. It is known as Pinctada, and fourth one is sea lemon because of its appearance, and the fourth one is tusk shell, Dentalium. And the next phylum is Echinodermata. They are spiny bodied marine animals, and they are having organ level of body plan, triploblastic germ layers and coelomate, that is true coelom is present here, and they are having a complete digestive system, and there is no excretory and circulatory system in this phylum, and water vascular system is present here, and tube feeds are used as a locomotory organ. So these are the examples of Echinodermata. So the first one is starfish, scientific name is Astrea, and the second one is sea urchin. Below starfish you are having sea urchin, Echinus, and the third one is sea cucumber, that is Cucumaria, and the fourth one is brittle star, Ophiura. Next phylum is Hemichordata. So the worm-like marine animals are called as hemichordates, and they are having organ system level of body plan, bilaterally symmetrical, and the cylindrical body shows a proboscis, collar and trunk. Three regions are present here, and the proboscis act as an excretory organ, and they are having an open type of circulatory system, and the respiration is by gills, and sexes are separate here, and they are having external fertilization. So the examples are Balanoglossus and Saccoglossus. So the first image is Balanoglossus and the second image is Saccoglossus. Next phylum is Chordata. So the phylum Chordata are having three common characters, namely notochord, nerve cord and pharyngeal gill slits are present. So these are the three common characters, and they are coelom. True coelom is present here. They are having true coelom, triploblastic in nature, bilaterally symmetrical, and organ system level of organization. And the post-anal tail is present, and closed circulatory system is present in this phylum, so Chordata. And there are three more subphylums, namely Urochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. So the first two, Urochordata and Cephalochordata, together they are known as Protochordata, and they are marine in nature. And examples for Urochordata are Acidia, so it is the first image, and the Cephalochordata example, Branchiostoma, it is in the second image. The next one is vertebrata. So notochord is present in embryonic period and they are having a bony vertebral column and cartilaginous tissue is present here, and the heart is either 2, 3 or 4 chambered. Ventral muscular heart is present and excretion is done by kidney, and fins or limbs are present. And there are two divisions, jawless and with jaw. So agnatha is jawless variety and Gnatostomata are with jaw. First we will see the agnatha, so the class Cyclostomata. They are ectoparasites which live on fishes and they are having a sucking mouth without jaws. So pineal eye is present and scales and paired fins are absent here. And there is a vertebral column present and they are having a closed type of circulation. And they are having a special migration called as anadromous migration. So this is very important. That is, they will migrate from marine water to fresh water for spawning. Spawning means for laying eggs. So example, lamprey. So the first image is lamprey and the second one is hagfish. So these are the jawless varieties, agnatha. And the second division is Gnatostomata, and there are two superclasses in this division, Gnatostomata, Pisces and Tetrapoda. So both are jaw, with jaw, and this Pisces is known as Chondricythis. So in Pisces we are having two classes, Chondricythis and Osteocythis. So Chondricythis, they are fast swimming and they are having a persistent notochord and two chambered hearts. Example, shark, skates and rays. So the image is skates. And osteocythis, they are streamlined, air bladder is present and two chambered heart. Example, rohu, katla and auger. All are freshwater fishes. So this one is rohu image. And again in Tetrapoda we are having four classes, namely amphibia, reptilia, aves and mammals. So you can comparatively study here. So this amphibia, it is cold-blooded and the neck is absent and there are two pairs of limbs, tympanum is present, respiration is by gills, lungs and skin, and three chambered heart, external fertilization and oviparous. So all the three classes, amphibia, reptilia, aves are oviparous and mammals are viviparous. So only amphibia is having external fertilization, others are having internal fertilization. And the first two, amphibia and reptile, they are having three chambered heart, except crocodile, they are having four chambered heart, and the remaining aves and mammals, they are four chambered heart they are having. And you can see in the tabular column and read it. And in reptilia, we are having crawling nature and they are having cornified skin. And tympanum is the acting as the inner ear. And skin casting is present. You can view in the snakes. So they will shed their skin. That is known as skin casting. And in aves, they belong to birds. So feathers, they are having feathers and they are flying in nature and they are warm-blooded animals. And oil glands are present at the tail. And they are having pneumatic bones because to fly they are having pneumatic bones, that is they are having air sacs, and crop and gizzard are present at alimentary canal. And if you consider the mammals, they are having mammary glands, special features, and they are terrestrial, that is they live on land, and they are having lungs for respiration, and two sets of teeth are present, diphyodont and heterodont. Two sets of teeth are present and the heart is four chambered. So you can comparatively study like this in order to remember. And I hope we have revised all the important points of all the phylums in a very short duration. Thank you for watching and kindly comment, share and subscribe for the next chapter. Keep watching and score more. Thank you.